said a lie in school purposely? ओके, बढ़िया, किसी ने झूठ नहीं बोला है, बहुत ही बढ़िया. ओके, ठीक है. Okay, never have I ever eaten an ice cream. So use the raise hand feature. Okay, Sonal ma'am. So only 3-4 people have eaten ice cream. Sonal ma'am, would you like to talk about it? Why do you like to eat ice creams?
Sir,
Or what's your favorite ice cream maybe?
good evening, sir.
Good
It's
evening.
rejuvenating. I love cassata,
Okay.
but it's been 1 year I have not eaten ice cream, but I love to eat ice cream. It's like one of my favorite, और वो घर में रखी हुई होती थी, and I used to binge on it जब भी मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि I'm sitting like that or I'm sad. I used to binge on ice cream, but then I realized that it is becoming one of the bad habits. So I have stopped eating it, and it's been 1 year. Even in winters, I used to eat ice cream.
Superb. Thank you for sharing that. Anupa ma'am, would you like to take another never have I ever statement? It's not come. Another one is not coming to my mind. I don't know why. Would you like to help me?
Okay, give me a moment.
So may I?
Yes, go ahead, Ashwini.
Yeah, never have I ever rode a bicycle.
Good
Or you
one.
can say motorcycle.
Okay, Priscilla ma'am, go ahead, ma'am.
Bicycle, yes, when I was very young. Motorcycle, yes, when I was a teenager. I used to take my father's bike and drive it.
Never have I ever cheated on an exam. Okay. चलिए नवीन सर, would you like to share?
सर कभी भी नहीं सर, कभी भी एग्जाम में कभी भी चीटिंग नहीं किया सर.
अरे ये तो उल्टा है, आपको चीटिंग किया है तब हैंड रेस करना है.
ओह सॉरी सर.
ओके, चलिए, so we will let's go to Swati ma'am. Swati ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. It was maths paper, and I was not so good in it. So मेरे आगे जो बैठी थी एग्जाम में, I tried to cheat, but unfortunately उसके सारे आंसर wrong थे.
I think I have cheated in my engineering. I would have 100% failed in one of my papers in engineering, but the girl who was sitting before me, she was a superstar, तो उसने मुझे पास करा दिया उस पेपर में. But I would have definitely failed in that. I think it was data systems. I'm not sure. Okay, Anupama ma'am, do you have a statement? Would you like to share? And then after that we'll start.
No, sir. We can start.
Okay, chalo, we'll start. Okay, thank you for participating actively. You can put your hands down. Feel free to, Ashwini, you can go through the ground rules and then we'll go to the Nagpur team.
I'll just read it out, sir, now. Dear teachers, welcome to the 73rd episode of CC Friday. I'll just read the ground rules for you. Be attentive throughout the session. Credits for this session will be given to the attendees who will be filling the feedback form. At the end of the session, you'll be getting the feedback form and then you can fill it and you'll get the credits. Keep your camera on whenever possible. It's a request. Asking questions using Q&A will be appreciated. You can ask anonymously or by your own name. This session is not compulsory for all, but yes, if you have any issues, you can just mail down to me. Thank you so much. We can start the session.
Good evening, Siddharth sir, Principal Pushpi ma'am, Principal Mukesh sir, Principal Anupama ma'am, and all educators. Delhi Public School Lava Nagpur welcomes you to yet another CC Friday, where we get to learn from each other, applaud our efforts, as well as imbibe new efforts. Let us begin our session with the mindfulness bell. I request all of you to sit comfortably, relax, close your eyes, and listen to the sound of the bell. Now, gently open up your eyes, rub your palms, and place them gently on your eyes. Thank you. The Mahatma spun the chakra, and the people of India wove around it to drive the British away. How did they gather the courage? How did they realize their duty towards their motherland? Only when one realizes the agony of truth that they are ready to die for an abstract idea, their nation, a nation without set boundaries, rules, or defined laws. Mahatma Gandhi is credited by the world to have initiated the first flame of learning in the minds of his fellow citizens. So much like us. Each day, we blend the fabric of knowledge and add metal to the character of each child. Social science is to make human humane. Grasping the cord of society, a young mind learns the civility of living. His country's past, the contemporary leaders, and their contributions to defined laws, agreements, and treaties. History is brutal, and its blood. World War I, World War II, Anglo-French wars, Sino-Anglo wars, India-Pak wars. But history is also magical. It is the literature, the paintings, the murals, the coins, the architecture, the Mona Lisa, the museums, the dancing girl, the Nile civilization, the Indus civilization. Geography is climate touching the landforms, the clouds bursting into rains, and the volcanoes shouting with fear, while the flora and fauna seek human care and adoration. Economics is capital invested and used for human welfare. It's a story of the growth of India and her contemporaries. Civics is power within the government, power with the people, power to hold the rights, and power to account the public facilities. Social science is fluid. We at Delhi Public School, Lava, Nagpur, India, have crafted the curriculum in such a way that social science has a fluid narration. Fluid thinking flows from primary to secondary classrooms. As we build up the concept trajectories from simple to complex, local to global, from regional to national. This CC Friday, we bring to you a composition of those social science aspects and how we have worked to place them in the hierarchy of learning, integrating the department goals and oceaning them into the school vision. After all, teaching is more than great content taught by great teachers, and learning is more than good grades because education is optimizing its values to the students as they move ahead. Over to Sonal ma'am.
Thank you, Shehnaz ma'am. Before we begin, let me ask a question that what aspects of social studies make it so important that it is always included in teaching learning? I request Nikita madam to share a Mentimeter link in the chat box, and I request you all to please enter your responses on it. I hope everybody is able to log into the Mentimeter. Waiting for more responses. Let me again share the link. I'm sharing the link again in the chat box. Okay. Another response, Social Connect. Let's connect. Connecting past to present. Political Connect. Growth of the country. No mistakes. Richness of the culture. Know our past. Learning. Man is a social animal. Okay. Connecting with the world to be better citizens. Critical analysis. Impact on human. Thank you so much for your responses. Shall I stop presenting the screen, Shehnaz ma'am? Okay. Reshmi ma'am, please present the slides. Thank you so much, everyone, once again, for all the responses. Social studies is a discipline that includes humanities such as geography, history, and political science. Why is social studies important? Let's explore. The primary purpose of social studies is to help young minds make informed and reasoned decisions as citizens of a diverse, democratic society in an independent world. Social studies integrate well with art, math, literature, and drama. In kindergarten, social studies skills develop naturally through inquiry, play, dramatization, role play, field trips, and through hands on experiences. Many great leaders and freedom fighters fought bravely for independence from the British. In the pre primary wing, we try to instill the values of patriotism, love, and respect for the motherland by introducing a leader every month in the morning assembly. For example, in the month of October, we talked about Gandhiji and his contribution to the freedom movement. So, when the children move to the higher classes, they can relate this knowledge to Dandi March and Indian national movement. We ask parents to visit the class and interact with the students. On this slide, you see a parent who is a soldier. He spoke about what soldiers do and how they protect the citizens and guard the borders of the country. Active participation like this sensitizes the children and eventually helps them become responsible citizens and develop patriotism. This knowledge helps them understand the concept of boundaries between countries so much before they actually start studying history, civics, or geography. Over to Vishakha ma'am.
Thank you, Sonal ma'am. Okay, so before moving ahead, let's start with an icebreaker activity. The name of the activity is sentence completion. I'll give you an incomplete sentence with two blanks. So you are supposed to fill those blanks as per your choice or situation. I request you all to please post your answers in the chat box. So the sentence is, right now I'm feeling blank, and by the end of this meet, I would like to blank. Please post your answers in the chat box. Okay, thank you for your responses. As more of the teachers are curious to know what we are going to do, so let us start with our. Okay, thank you for your responses once again. Geography is a synthesis of all subjects, and all subjects are part of geography. Geography helps us explore and understand space and place, recognizing the great differences in cultures, political systems, economies, landscapes, and environments across the world, and exploring the links between them. Learning objective shows the right path of learning to the teacher as well as the students. Learning objectives are bright rays, which create positive connections among learners and determine the direction of learning for effective and quality learning outcomes. So, here are some learning objectives. Students will develop a clear understanding of various types of maps. They'll be able to read and analyze maps throughout their life wherever required. They'll be able to understand that a map shows how a place looks from above. Learning by doing is the process whereby students make sense of their experiences, especially those experiences in which they actively engage in doing any activity. It encourages active engagement with available materials. So, students were divided into two groups. One group drew the map of India on the ground, and by forming a human chain, they tied the outline in the shape of India's map. Then a few members from other groups were called out to locate the places on the map. Other groups made the map on a piece of chart paper with the help of pulses, and other children from group A were asked to locate the places on the map drew on the piece of chart paper. This activity motivated the students to step out of their comfort zone. They discovered something new and purposeful readily. It was a productive method as it helped the kids to embed knowledge into their memory. The maps taught in grade 6 are basically classified into three categories: political map, physical map, and thematic map. So, the third type of map, which is thematic map, is used to indicate a specific theme. For example, it can be used to indicate the monsoon watch. By differentiating the states of India on the basis of monsoon ranges, it connects the topic maps of grade 6 to climate in grades 9 and 10th. This will enhance their critical thinking skills by allowing them to dig deeper. It will also help students to connect classroom learning to their real life. Over to you, Pallavi ma'am.
Thank you, Vishakha. School elections play a vital role in shaping the idea of democracy. The school cabinet election is conducted in the month of July, where students from grade 3 onwards exercise their voting rights. The students even in grade 3 understand the concept of free and fair elections and realize the value of their vote as they get to choose their leaders, the head boy, the head girl, the house captains, and the vice captains. They feel empowered as voters. And then in grade 9 and 10, they connect it to understand the electoral process with a broader perspective, right from filling the nominations to campaigning and counting of votes and the declaration of results. The school elections act as a simulator for real elections. The process of meeting school goals and departmental goals, of making the students critical thinkers, global citizens, can be initiated by urging them to participate in the school elections, not only as a candidate but also as responsible voters. They will in future think critically before voting. Should I just vote because he or she is my friend? We are from the same house or locality? Or should I consider the candidate on the basis of his or her merit? They will become responsible as voters, which is the first step towards becoming a responsible global citizen. As candidates, the student understand the importance of what and how they are communicating with the voters. They understand that every single vote counts, and this will make them responsible citizens and feel motivated to participate in every election. Thank you. Over to you, Smriti ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Some people think music education is a privilege, but
Smriti ma'am, unmute yourself.
sorry. Some people think music education is privilege, but I think it's essential to being human. Music integration in social science can be a highly effective method of transacting knowledge and enhancing learning across different levels, from primary to secondary and higher secondary. At primary level, incorporating songs and rhymes related to social science topics can help young learners grasp key concepts and vocabulary in an engaging way and talk concrete steps towards our vision of building a community of compassionate, creative, articulate, lifelong learners and responsible global citizens. A song like Do Re Mi from the movie The Sound of Music or Sare Ke Sare Gama Ko Lekar from Parichay is an amazing way to not just teach the Sagam but also the Varnmala. Moving to the secondary level, students can benefit from historical ballet and folk songs, like that represent specific periods of events in history. We even have a rap song on the Battle of Haldi Ghati, analyzing the lyrics, discussing the context, and exploring the cultural significance of these songs deepen students' understanding of historical events. At a higher secondary level, music can be used to analyze songs with socio political or economic themes. This helps students gain insights in social attitudes, political movements, and cultural shifts. Our subject vision is to emphasize on critical thinking, and a song like Blowing in the Wind by Bob Dylan will help raise questions about peace, war, freedom, and social change. It will encourage critical thinking, reflection on societal issues, and cultural appreciation. Over to you, Nikita ma'am.
Thank you, Smriti ma'am. The learning of social sciences can be seen as a natural progression from lower classes to higher classes, with each level building upon the previous one. There are many children who still sleep hungry. To reach out to such children, the government has launched different programs like Integrated Child Development Services, Annapurna Yojana, midday meal programs, and many more. Our students of grade 3 visited the Annamitra Foundation, which works under the SCON Food Relief Foundation. Annamitra Foundation runs midday meal programs for underprivileged children. When we visited the foundation, we connected the learning to civics, a fundamental right, that is, right to equality. The right to equality is a fundamental principle that promotes fairness and non discrimination in various aspects of life, including access to basic necessities such as food. While the right to equality does not directly guarantee equal access to food, it provides a foundation for addressing the disparities that exist. We also made our children aware of such programs run by the Government of India and many NGOs. Students become aware of the reality of food scarcity, insecurity, and the struggles faced by many children. Such experiences help them to develop empathy. By understanding the challenges faced by others, children learn about the importance of food, social justice, and the role they can play in promoting equality and fairness. Lessons like these will help them in higher grades to deepen their knowledge about fundamental rights and duties. Through observation and interaction with volunteers at the Annamitra Foundation, they gain insights into the dynamics of poverty and the factors that contribute to social inequality. This learning will undoubtedly create awareness among them regarding the importance of food, food wastage, and its availability. The connection between children visiting an NGO and social sciences is therefore both powerful and profound. The visit to NGO helped our children connect their classroom to the real life. By exposing children to the realities of food scarcity, insecurity, and providing them with opportunities to analyze social systems, interdisciplinary learning, and civic engagement, we can ignite their curiosity and nurture their understanding of society, culture, and eventually help them to become responsible global citizens. And this is our final goal, our mission and vision. It's our responsibilities to seize these opportunities and empower our children to become informed, compassionate, and active members of the society. Over to Reshmi ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Podcasts are an excellent way to connect with social science topics. They provide an engaging and accessible platform for learning and exploring different themes. Podcasts serve as a valuable supplement to classroom learning and have proved to be an engaging and immersive way to explore social science topic. DPS Lava Unplugged has presented podcasts on topics like World Food Day by pre-primary students, International Day of Awareness of Food Loss and Waste by middle school, and Kisan Divas by the higher secondary school. Let me explain how these podcasts will help the students to understand the significance of food. They can gain awareness about food loss and waste, world food issues, and the significance of agriculture, and develop a basic understanding of the impact on individuals, communities, and environment. These podcasts provide age-appropriate content that introduce young learners to important topics related to food waste, global food issues, and agriculture. The podcast engage young learners through storytelling and interactive activities, fostering curiosity and a love for learning. Students enhance their vocabulary and language skills while being exposed to engaging and informative content. The podcast also promote critical thinking by prompting students to reflect on the importance of reducing waste and exploring simple solutions. Additionally, the podcast foster empathy, cultural appreciation, and a sense of social responsibility, encouraging students to make responsible food choices and contribute to a more sustainable future. Students can delve into complex topics related to food laws, global food issues, and agriculture, exploring the causes, impact, and potential solutions. They can further enhance their research and inquiry skills by investigating academic articles, policy papers, and case studies. The podcast stimulate meaningful debates and discussions, allowing students to evaluate different perspectives and ethical considerations. Moreover, students gain a global perspective on food systems and examine the role of international cooperation in addressing these challenges. The learning experience prepares them for higher education and careers in related field while empowering them to become advocate for sustainable agriculture and food security. Prajakta ma'am, please share your experiences too.
Sure, Eshu ma'am. Child labor typically Child labor typically refers to the employment of children in activities that are harmful or exploitative to their health, education, or general well-being. Child labor is considered a serious offense in many countries, particularly in the developing nations where poverty and lack of education are prevalent. This issue was highlighted by a senior group of students in one of the podcast episodes. Before writing the script, the students researched and studied the various aspects of child labor. They found industries where child labor is more prevalent. They came to know that the fireworks industry employs children and they are exposed to hazardous conditions. This podcast was an eye opener for all. Students experience empathy and care when they see someone of their age working in households and public places. They will also understand that these children are deprived of all the integrals of a happy life. And as a consequence, they will also develop gratitude for everything they have. They'll also learn the valuable life skills indeed. Over to you, Shahnaz ma'am.
Thank you, Prajakta ma'am. Climate literacy is part of our schools and an integral aspect of our curriculum. Being a climate action school and Global School Alliance member, social science has been a subject integrating the SDGs into classroom teaching, sensitizing the students to climate change and its impact, transferring it from lower to upper classes. Tiny feet dancing in the rain understand just how much they love to get wet. When they grow up, these minds ponder why it rains so less in few places, while few places get flooded. What causes the monsoons and how we are responsible to alter its pattern. The fun and thrill of good food and what's tasty is also healthy leads the students to learn who is farming for the country, what stems their problems, how can we solve their problems. Moving on, these young minds use the case study method to grasp the social, economic, and political arenas of SDGs. The senior students use the case study method to gauge the seriousness of how climate change is affecting the migration of humpback whales, monarch butterflies, and assess the use of green hydrogen over gray hydrogen. And then, as teachers, we confirm that hope exists. Such a study embodies the departmental goal of nurturing global citizens who are responsible 21st century citizens and advocate and campaign for environment concerns. These students transcend their learnings into multiple skills and derive multiple insights synthesize divergent information. They develop meta skills, skills to separate the wheat from the chaff. They are now better prepared to handle bigger roles and challenges. Schools have always suffered with the rigor relevance gap, the gulf between the meticulously researched theory that educators teach and the practical, real world experience the students often lack. Social science is a subject dealing with humans, and the objective of our presentation was to share with you that we are here to let the students say, all the swans we saw till now is white, and not all the swans are white. All humans are rational. Instead, all are humans. We ingrain the students not to generalize all learnings, but to use the meta skills to fact find and harp on the unfamiliar. We teach the students history, geography, civics, and economics, but actually, we are imbibing thinking skills which will outlast the chapters of the pages of their textbooks. Thank you all for listening. I hope we as educators were able to link our classroom transactions with the departmental goal and the school vision. We are grateful for the opportunity to present our work. The questions, suggestions, and comments keep us motivated and geared up for better work. A big thanks to my team, Sonal ma'am, Nikita ma'am, Vishakha ma'am, Pallavi ma'am, Prajakta, Reshmi ma'am, Smriti ma'am, and of course, Rajshri ma'am and our principal ma'am for constant support and motivation. Thank you all once again for being a wonderful audience. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you, Shahnaz ma'am, and the entire team from Lava Nagpur. I think it was a fabulous presentation, a lot of takeaways for everybody, and it was amazing to see how everything was linked with the vision of the Department of Social Science and how you brought that in a lot of these activities that are done at the school. So I would like to know if anybody has any questions. Pushpi ma'am, Mukesh sir, Anupa ma'am, anything that you would like to add, any questions that you might have? Anybody else, if you have any question, you can either raise your hand or put it up in the chat. Or Ashwini has opened up the Q&A as well. You can put up your questions there. So recently, I had this experience with some of the children and how seriously the children really take up the school elections. I remember I was very recently. I was speaking to these grade 11 students who are currently, I think, at Nasik are contesting for head boy, head girl, and various other posts. And over 5 to 6 days, we were doing a course on mental chatter for them, so that they understand their mental chatter and how does the mind operate. They understand that, and so every day when they were writing their mental chatter, there was only one thought that was coming to their mind about how am I going to give my head boy speech, or how am I going to give my head girl speech, and what are people going to say, and all of that. So it is so extreme. It is such an important moment for them when the school elections happen, and it is so nice to see that through that we are teaching them real elections and the importance of voting and a lot of that. Anupama ma'am, would you like to add anything? Would you like to share something?
So the idea of this presentation was to introduce students in our pre-primary itself to some part of social science, so that over the grades, they can connect their learning, and it's not compartmentalized in different grades. So that was the whole idea behind this presentation, and congratulations team, it was a wonderful presentation.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for your motivation.
Superb. Yes, indeed. I think the thing that was shared about introducing one national leader in the assembly, I think that's a really. And there was another and how you're also integrating the sustainable development goals into the classroom at the really low level. How are we involving these kids in the climate action project? I think these are very interesting things, and it'll really go a long way. And a big round, I think I would really appreciate the efforts put in by Shehnaz ma'am, especially for the climate action school, and Shehnaz ma'am, Sunanda ma'am, and Sanila ma'am. And I think a big round of applause for all of you, because all the three schools are now climate action schools, and I think that's a big achievement for us, because climate action is like a big crisis that we are facing, and we are seeing that on a day-to-day basis. We are seeing that in our localities, that the climate is changing, so a big shout out to all three of you champions to bring this, and we must continue to do a lot of work on climate action. I think that is extremely important and the need of the hour. So thank you to the Nagpur team to put this all together. Very interesting, and I'm sure a lot of takeaways for everyone on this. Pushpi ma'am, are you there? I see that you're there. Would you like to share something?
Yeah, the entire presentation was beautiful and very well collated. But the highlight for me was the last picture where I saw a black swan amongst the white ones. So that depicts that in our classes, in a heterogeneous group, there will be children who are a part of inclusion. That is how I perceive that picture. So while others, all other subjects also take care of that, but social science is something, it is the most living subject. So if social science teachers can make inclusion a part of their pedagogy, so I think the rest of the subjects can actually be taken care of. So that one picture itself, I felt, was driving home everything that social science stands for. So thank you, Nagpur team.
Yeah, and as you share, Pushpi, about social science, I'll share, sometime back, there's this wonderful educator called Vikramjit Ruprai, and he had visited Nasik on a physical visit. I think he also did a session with us on CC Fridays during the lockdown. He shared something very unique. Okay, and I think the social science teachers will really benefit from this. So I'm sharing this. So what he shared was that we must have a timeline in our classroom. Our classroom should have a timeline starting from when the world began till today. Okay, and we should have a timeline on the wall, and everything that we do in school should be marked on the timeline. So if you are learning about the Fibonacci series, can we mark it on the timeline? When was the Fibonacci series invented? When was the mathematician who was born who invented the Fibonacci series? When did he die? When, say, maybe we are reading a new, we're reading a poem from a celebrated author. How can we mark that? When was that poem written? And maybe at that time, what was happening in the world in terms of what was happening in India, what was happening in the world in terms of social science, and maybe the poem is a resultant of what was happening in the world. The children will be able to understand the linkages between why things were invented and what were the circumstances in the world around that, so that this became invented, and how people thought at that point of time. So I would really encourage some of you social science teachers to definitely try this out in your classrooms. Put up a timeline and try and post a lot of material that other subjects also does onto that. and students will start understanding that everything is social science, and social science will suddenly become interesting. From a boring subject, it will become very, very interesting, because then everything that they study in school will be nothing but social science.
Siddharthji, unfortunately, I beg to differ on that, because social science teachers are the only ones who have the courage to be passionate, and they are the only ones who love and romance with the dead.
Okay. Yeah, so we must make it interesting. So
Yeah.
that is what we need to do, and I think that is really, really important. Somehow, a lot of times students don't feel it that way, and we must make them feel social science very, very interesting, you know. But yeah, so we have another. Yes, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, just to all the social science teachers of all the three branches, bring the dead to life in your class, and that is how social science will be, interesting to the children. Thank you, everyone.
Great, great. Thank you for that sharing. Yes, Bhaiya, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Very well said, Pushpi ma'am. You bring the dead to life, and I love the humor that social science teachers are only the ones who are in love with the dead. So that was amazing. Go ahead, Siddharth.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So we have another very, very interesting presentation coming up, and this is, I am sure this is going to be very interesting, because I see that a lot of you have found a new love of making a lot of reels, clicking a lot of pictures in school and posting, and this presentation will bring all of that together, of how you can really add value, and how we can, so whatever we are creating a lot of content in our campuses, how we can put that content in a way such that it makes a lot of sense to the viewer on the other end. So Sanjana ma'am is going to take this up, and she is going to share what she has in mind. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Siddharth. I love the presentation by Nagpur, and I've learned a thing or two today. Social studies was my favorite subject at school, and I really wish something so interesting was happening at that point. Can I request Jignesh sir to please share his screen and share the presentation? Good evening, everybody. My name is Sanjana Rajgaria, and I'm going to be discussing about the power of color codes and our social media presence. I say discuss because I would really like to make everybody a part of this presentation, and I hope we will be able to bring our points through. Let's use the chat box to our advantage today and post any questions that we have. Can we move to the next slide? So let's get to the points that we are going to be discussing today. What is the importance of consistency in visual branding, and why do we keep making our posts so similar all the time? The impact of social media on the brand identity. In the era of social media, how many of us open a page on Instagram, look at the post, make a perception about the brand or the school there and then? Right? I'm assuming at least a few of us, that is how we decide, right, if we want to follow or unfollow a page. How we are using specific colors to create a brand identity in the school now, which we weren't doing earlier, but there has been a conscious effort for the last few months. How can our team help our teachers in creating meaningful content? Over the last few months, we have been consistently creating a team that is going to work with our teachers and help them in creating content. Can you move to the next slide? So how many of us have heard about the term color psychology? I would like to know on the chat box, please. Right. But there is this term that, has been used for quite some time, and brands have been using it to their advantage. Right. So it is a study of how color affects our human emotions, behaviors, and perception. Color is a powerful tool that can influence our perception, attitude, and decision-making process. So let's say, for example, when I looked at red as a child, I would always remember Coke. Similarly, blue is strongly associated with Facebook. So as soon as I see that logo on my phone, even if I haven't opened it, the blue color reminds me about Facebook. I'm sure there are other colors that we resonate with, and they remind us of something somewhere always. Can we move to the next slide? So these are the color codes that we have been using in our school posts. Most of our social media post hoarding school creatives use these 5 colors. We are making a conscious effort to make everything look in sync through our color coding. So let's go through some examples of our creatives on social media. You will notice that we have something going on with our school color codes in almost all of them. Right, so let's say the World Day Against Child Labor had something green, and so did the next post. Right, we can move to the next one. Now we address the burning question. What is social media really doing for us? And did our post make any impact through the last year that we've been posting? So if you see the importance of social media, which is there and we've been seeing it all over, which is first is increased visibility. Over the last few months, more and more people have started following our school pages since we started uploading our work consistently. When we showcase a child's achievement, it's a proud moment not just for the parents but also for the teachers who have helped the child get to that level. There are real-time updates, what the school is doing, especially for parents who are always anxious to know, or potential parents who would like to know where the focus of the school is before they take the plunge. For example, I go and check out my daughter's school page almost every day because once she's home and I'm asking her what really happened, there have been few days that she doesn't want to discuss or talk to me about it. But then there are times when I see the kind of work that the school is doing and what efforts they're really putting in my daughter's development. Reaching out to our parents and larger audience that we've been doing through our posts, community engagement. So to show this, can we just move on to the next slide? So if you see our social media posts, when we posted about the best CBSE school for Nagpur, we had tons and tons of messages from parents who wanted to congratulate us. Right. Similarly, when we talk about our teachers who've completed, let's say 10 years, 5 years, 12 years in the school, they always get this perception that teachers have been around for a longer time, and they really like to see that face, that teacher who their child was when they were in nursery. And now the child is in grade 5, but the teacher is still there with the school. We also talk about teachers' appreciation. We also talk about parent testimonies, and then we've always got responses on those. Similarly, when we shared our class 12th results, we had a lot of messages at that point. A lot of parents who were very happy to know what the school was doing. So how is our team now going to help us? I would like to now introduce the team and how we can help making creatives. We have one person from admin and one person from tech team from every campus. So let's say from Varanasi, we have Namita ma'am and Akhilesh sir. From Nasik, we have Umesh sir and Pankaj sir. From Nagpur, we have Gunjan ma'am and Jignesh sir. And for video editing, we have a person who is dedicatedly doing this, Pavanji, in our Gurgaon office. So how can we help now, like as a team? We can make any creative for school events, PTMs, etc. It is always better if we are given some time, but since our team has grown, we can try and manage to do last minute work as well. So anything that the teachers want us to make, let's say there is something that is going to come up, we want to call the parents, you can always send us the data, we'll make it for you, we'll send you the creative the same day. Creating all videos for social media and parents. Most of the videos are made in hours of us getting the content. WhatsApp is the best medium to reach out to the team for any of this, especially if it is to be done soon. Enhancing or editing of pictures and videos. Any editing can be done, including removing the background, moving the floor, introducing new clouds in the picture. We can try and do everything. Creating social media posts, not just for a school handles, but also for your LinkedIn. What I've realized is that in case our teachers want to post something about the school, about the work that has happened, about something that they feel for, then please feel free to get in touch with us, and we will share a creative with you which can be shared on your LinkedIn profiles. I would now like to hand over the presentation to Namita ma'am to continue from here. Can we have Namita ma'am? Are you here?
Namita ma'am, are you there?
Yeah. Good evening. Am I audible?
Yeah, but there's a lot of echo.
Okay. Is it better now?
Yeah. Yes.
Fine. This is my first time in joining such a large group of CC Fridays. Thank you so much, Sanjana ma'am and Siddharth sir and Gautam sir, for making me a part of it. I actually enjoyed my period of hearing so many teachers, which though I don't do in my usual routine. So I'll continue with what ma'am had shared. We have the documents with social media guidelines. I think there was a document already shared with all teachers and all coordinator heads. What color codes do we follow? Then we have created the Canva team as links to join and share work. We have created links which we would be sharing with the coordinators or the teachers who will be doing the work, wherein you can put in your work or whatever you want to upload or share, any activity if you have. We have also created drive links for uploading the content so that there is no confusion. In case you have planned activities, there'll be a folder already created. In case it is unplanned, then you may create the folder inside. Then there'll be Canva links and emails with invitations already made. We have made a predefined invitations which you can use for any of the invites which you want the parents to be invited for. Can I have the next slide? How can you help us? You as teachers or coordinators, you need to update the drive with the content. Then only it can get posted actually. Giving us access to drive links. There certain times we actually fail to work upon because we do not have access to the drives through which the activities or the information gets shared from. Half of the time we actually ask for access, and then we do not want activities to be shared on the WhatsApp because it's hampers the quality content and the picture quality. We cannot use it. It is of no use to us. Then shooting the content, clear pictures and videos with the right angles. I think, ma'am, we had already shared the guidelines with the team.
Right. We'll share it again on Monday.
We'll share it again on Monday. And in case you have any problems, you may always share to us. I'm there at Varanasi and the rest 2 schools also, ma'am has shared. There are responsible resource people whom you can share at the last moment for any help, any updation, anything which you want to. And then you can sit back and relax. So we just wanted to have a feedback in case you feel that how can we get the things better or how can we improve upon this. In case you have any suggestions, you please welcome.
So these are the email addresses shared here where the content has to be shared. But of course, like I mentioned, in case there is something like, let's say we're sitting on the 8th and you want something to be uploaded on the 9th on social media and it's extremely important, you can always reach out to us on WhatsApp with the concerned person of your campus, and then we can always look into it. Right. So I would like to end this with quoting Jeff Bezos once said, and I quote, "Your brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room." I hope we reflect on this for a moment. I would now like to open the floor for any questions and inquiries, anything that the teachers have been facing and they would like to ask us. So please go ahead, because I know that there have been times that teachers have faced an issue with something to do with content. Please go ahead, ask us questions. It will really benefit everybody.
I have a question. So if say if maybe some teacher has an event tomorrow and wants to send an invite for some parents to come to that. So what should I do?
Okay, so in that case, we have two options. The first is I'm going to be sharing a Canva link with everybody. That Canva link is for, we are creating teams on everybody's Canva. So we have an email address that is given, that has been given to us by the school. You have to become a part of the team. As soon as you become a part of the team, there are predefined about 12 to 15 invitations that are already there. You can edit it and send it. Let's say you don't want to use any of those. Just WhatsApp us. We will try and
Is there
create
a possibility we can share that right now?
The invitations can be sent on email today.
No, just can we see it so that everybody gets a view of it?
Okay, sure. You'll have to.
So why are we? So I also, by the time Bhabhi opens this up, I also want to share that why are we doing this? We are all. I see that all of us are putting so much of effort. We are creating a lot of content. We want to streamline this so that all of us say the same thing, right? So we want to streamline it such that all our colors look the same, so that it hits the right neural networks in the brains of our audience. Okay, we don't want to hit different neural networks. It should hit the same neural network, and that is why we are color coding it in the same way. Okay, and so that is why the color codes that Bhabhi shared was that if we all use the same color codes, whatever content we create, it will have the same feeling, right, in the minds of the person who is viewing it or seeing it. Okay, and we want to also ease that process for you, because now is the age of creation, right? Everybody is a creator, and we want to ease that process for you. So we are also giving you a lot of templates which you can just take and start from there. You don't need to really start from scratch if you are designing something, or designing an invitation, or or you're making a small video or anything. So we are giving you a lot of templates on that, and Bhabhi and the team has worked a lot on this and trying to put this together. Another thing that is, yes, go ahead.
Okay, what we're also doing is we're adding the color codes in Canva itself. So let's say you're writing anything, you can just choose it and you can just put it. You don't have to search for the color code. We're adding it to the brand. Yeah, go ahead, Siddharth, please.
Yeah, any questions? I'm sure आप लोगों को बहुत बार problems face हुई है. Please ask some questions. Without asking question, मतलब किसी को कुछ clear नहीं हुआ या सबको सब कुछ समझ में आ गया, तो कुछ सवाल आएंगे तो अच्छा होगा.
So we're just sharing a couple of invites that I could find on my phone right now.
Okay, great. A big round of applause for Sangeeta ma'am. Yes, Sangeeta ma'am.
Yes, I would like to say that on 28th of June, my class has a assembly presentation.
Okay.
So I have made the parent invite on a slide. So it can be, I think it can be made better with the Canva template, or how can I get the help?
This is exactly what the team is here for. Sangeeta ma'am, this is exactly what the team is here for. Right? So now if you make a slide presentation as an invite, or if this team makes this presentation, the look and feel will really change. Right? So that is what the purpose of this team is. So brilliant. Thank you for sharing that. You should reach out to Namita ma'am or Akhilesh sir, and you should get this thing. Yes.
So all we need is an email from your side, from whatever campus you are. Reach out to your campus coordinator, and once you've dropped an email, you have to just mention the date by when do you want everything to be ready, and that will be ready before that. We'll always get, once we send you the invite, you can always send us your feedback and we'll edit it according to your needs.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Sangeeta ma'am, you can always share to us and we shall get back to you. Whatever you want to prepare.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So keeping some things in mind, this is what Jignesh sir is presenting. We've created a couple of samples actually. I just have a few of them here. Yeah, so these are keeping our color codes in mind. trying to keep what sort of invites are we going to send. A lot of them are for pre-primary wing. We're also getting something for the investiture ceremony. We're also trying to do something for PTM.
Also know that a lot of you, or most of us, do Star of the Week in the earlier classes. We invite our parents for Star of the Week. We send out SMSs or a written content for that. A written content with an image will be a great idea for Star of the Week, right? So all of these invites, whatever you send out to parents, actually form our brand identity as a school. It forms the brand image of DPS Varanasi, of DPS Lava Nagpur, of DPS Nashik, right? These small things really matter. And using this media team, the social media team, to get better creatives, to get better designed creatives, will help the image of the school, and through the image of the school, it will also transform your individual images as educators and as teachers, right? So that is why we must definitely do this.
Absolutely. And apart from that, I would also stress on the point that I know a lot of teachers are putting great amount of effort going on InShot, going on different apps and creating these videos, right? But ultimately, when it comes to us, we always have to edit it according to the color codes of the school. So I would really request you to not put that effort, rather, like, I know there is tons and tons of work that we're anyways managing and doing. We might as well outsource that entire thing. Earlier, we didn't have a team in place. Now that we have a team in place, everything can be done in a short period of time. So it's not going to be like you send me something today and it's going to happen after 10 days. If you tell us a timeline, if you say that I want it tomorrow, I want it day after, everything can be worked around. Right. So raw data is all that we need. So on Monday, we are going to be sharing a couple of emails, and that is exactly why we wanted to do this CC Friday as well. So one is going to be of the Canva team link. I would really request all the teachers to join that link. As soon as you join that team, there will be a couple of templates for you to use as invitations, and anything else that we create will be there available for everybody to use, including the brand colors, the logo of the school that you can just pick up and add to your creative. Secondly, we are going to be sharing a guideline for social media content, which is like at least try and keep the camera in place. We do, I think on Yoga Day, Varanasi had done something extremely interesting. And there was we had this thing, right? We had a child asking questions.
Yeah, with a Padma Bhushan awardee.
Correct.
Shivananda Swami.
The angle of that whole thing was from the side. We wanted to, we wanted to do so much more with it, but we couldn't. Because we could barely, we saw the side angle of the child and a little bit of the Padma Bhushan there, right? So just keeping some points in mind, and I'll be sharing a document for the same. Thirdly, from July onwards, like a lot of teachers have been dropping us amazing content on our media email addresses, but there have been times that it gets, we kind of miss it. So what we are doing it so that we don't miss it is that we are going to be sharing a drive link with all the teachers with folders already made for the events that we've asked you to send us content. Plus, the drive link is going to be open for you to make any folder in that and add content. Let's say you want something to be uploaded on the 10th of July and you're uploading it on the 2nd of July. So you just need to name the folder as 10th of July, upload the content, and we will have that go on social media on the 10th of July. Right. So these are 3 things that we are going to be sending an email about on Monday.
All right. Thank you. I think anything else, Bhabhi, you want to share?
Yeah, I think Millie ma'am has a question. She's raising her.
Okay, so I think we've overshot time. Millie ma'am, just 1 second. Thank you everybody for joining in. Wonderful presentations today, and I hope lots of takeaways for everybody. Those who wish to leave, Ashwini, you can share the feedback and they can leave. And Millie ma'am, yes, over to you for your question.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, ma'am. Here, ma'am, I want to know, like, when we make videos, suppose 3, 4, 5 groups are there, and we make separate videos for each group, and it becomes very difficult for us to burn all together, because that one activity will make all the sense when all the videos are together.
You
just
were
send all the 4 videos. That's what I think Bhabhi shared.
Yes,
Just send the 4 raw files.
Okay, okay. Thank you. That's possible.
So what you need to do, मिली मैम, is जो 4 वो videos हैं उनको ड्राइव पे एक फोल्डर बना के उसमें अपलोड कर दीजिए, और जिस डेट पे आपको चाहिए उस डेट का वहां पे नीचे लेबल डाल दीजिए और खत्म.
Yeah. And I would actually request everybody to not make a video and have us make the video. That just makes more sense. So if you give us the raw data.
So Bhavi, I think I'll just add what you said. So I think what you mean is that you want them to shoot the video but not edit it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want the raw data, and we will make the video and send it to you.
So raw data means shooting the video and sending it as it is without editing it.
Absolutely. Yeah, so this is what Jignesh sir is sharing. This is how we made it. So for June, like 4th, 5th, 7th, 8th, whenever, whatever was happening, we made folders out of it. When you open the folder, there is content inside it. And then we pick up the content, we make videos, and we share it. So these links will be shared with all of you.
Yes, Millie ma'am, you have another question?
No, sir, that was
Okay.
mistake. That was by mistake. No question.
ठीक है. Any more questions from anybody? Feel free to raise your hand or maybe just put it in the chat. Thank you for joining in. Once you fill the feedback, you can exit. Thank you. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Siddharth sir, Gautam sir, Sanjana ma'am, Namita ma'am, and Team Lava Nagpur for presenting today. Thank you, teachers, for joining in. Just fill in the feedback form and you can call for the day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Ashwini ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
this is not opening. So what I can do?
See, feedback form में
Feedback form जो है वो नहीं open हो रहा है. So how can maybe
Is
कि मेरे यहाँ
everyone
कुछ
is same issue?
Yeah, I think so.
Teachers, please answer. When you open the form,
Yes, ma'am. Ashwini ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
It's working.
Even from my side, it is not opening.
It's working, ma'am.
It's working.
Okay.
it will try after some time.
Ji, okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, if everyone is opening, that's why it is happening. I don't know. Just try it after some time, or else I'll share the link through the WhatsApp group also. Right. I hope you all have the feedback form link, and if not, I'll share it again, and even I'm going to share it in the WhatsApp groups, subject groups. You'll get it from there also. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you. Have a great weekend ahead.
Ashwini ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
हेलो
Yes,
अश्विनी मैम,
Pratima. Yeah.
हमें भी फीडबैक फिल करना होगा.
नहीं.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.